Welcome back to Arc Salt Lake on your Thursday morning. Time right now is 7:48. You know, it's been a really hot summer. We've been dealing with that heat. We're going to deal with a stretch of it coming up in the next few days, as Lindsay has been telling us. But we want to talk about working out in that heat. So we have fitness instructor Heather Doney with us for tips on how to stay active, but also keep yourself safe, because it is really hot out there, Heather.
It's so hot, and the air quality hasn't been great either, right? So we don't want to stop our workout when it gets hot in the summer, but we want to be smart about it. So there's ways we can do that and still be able to get our bodies healthy and moving. So.
Okay, what's the best advice then for kind of staying healthy in extreme heat and poor air quality?
Yeah, so first of all, I think finding that sweet spot during the day to do it. Early morning, later in the evening, obviously when the temperatures are lower, trying to get out and doing it then. The hottest part of the days, obviously, are between like 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. But sometimes, so we try to avoid those, but sometimes, like we were talking about a little bit earlier, we don't have a choice. And it's like, that's the time when we need to go out. So you just want to make sure that you are going in shaded areas if you can, wearing lighter clothing, things like that. So just the time of day is probably one of the easiest ways to, like earlier and later, to try and regulate that time. So.
But you've also, if you are going to be out in the heat, you brought some things that kind of show, hey, these can help you. Talk about some of the things you want to have with you just to give you that little extra bit of protection.
Yeah, shielding yourself even before you go out the door, you know, so you've got, you could hydrate, well, you should hydrate before you're even working out, and then during, obviously. Wearing a hat, sunglasses, sunscreen. Look for sunscreen, maybe more the mineral one that has the zinc dioxide and the zinc oxide and the titanium dioxide. That's going to be less chemicals. So, a cooling towel. Have you seen these?
I have, and I don't have one actually.
Yeah, so you get them wet, and then they stay cool for hours. So you put it around your neck. My husband's bald, so he just lays it over the top of his head. Put it on your face. So you can use this before, during, and after, just to kind of keep the body cool. So that is some different ways to just try and like keep yourself from overheating beforehand.
And what are these things over here?
So electrolytes. Have you heard of electrolytes?
Of course I have.
Everybody knows. That's kind of a buzzword right now, but our body has electrolytes in sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium, all of those. And when we sweat, we lose those electrolytes, particularly sodium. So salt, right? So electrolytes are really important to use in your water. So if you're doing just water, if you're like a lighter workout, it's just under an hour, you're not sweating a lot, just plain water is actually fine. But if you're excessively sweating, you have a job that's outdoors, it's a high activity that you're doing, electrolytes will help replenish all of that. And these are some of my favorite ones, just some cleaner electrolytes. They don't have a bunch of added sugar. Those Gatorades that they give all the kids, those lots of sugar. Full of sugar. So these are some really good options that are a lot cleaner. So.
Now, we're not saying that you cannot go out in the heat of the day.
Right.
But you got to be a little more careful, right?
Yes. Being careful, like shortening your workout when it's hot. So the goal is to not show how proud, or just pride of like, I'm going to push through, I'm going to do this, right? It's more of just being consistent. So chase consistency, not intensity. So your heart is working really hard when you're out in the heat to get the blood to the muscles and to try and cool the temperature of your body down. So your workouts are going to feel a lot harder when you're out in the heat. So just drop down the duration and drop down the intensity of it.
Also listening to your body. What should you be watching for if not everyone will realize they're overdoing it.
Right.
So what should you be watching for?
There's a difference between being uncomfortable in your body and being unsafe. So some things to watch for are dizziness, nausea, vomiting, extreme fatigue, confusion. Some people get really shaky, and when you feel any of those, you need to stop. Get cool, like get in the shade, get into some AC, just trying to get that cool, hydrate and cool the body down. So, and then if it's really extreme, watch for this in other people as well, because with yourself, you may not be able to call 911, but if you see somebody else who is passing out, they're slurring their words, you want to call 911 when it's extreme.
You mentioned hydrating before you go out. Why is that important? Why does that help?
Yeah, the body needs the hydration to be able to just get those cells and get the muscles the hydration that it needs to get moving and to get going. So because then if you're already thirsty, you're already dehydrated.
Right.
So if you can be hydrated before, you won't feel that excessive thirst as you're working out.
Okay, let's say you are out there, you overdo it. What's the best way to cool down?
Yeah, the best ways you can do that are just getting to a cooler area. So a lot of times when you can immerse yourself in water, a lot of people might do cold plunging. I'm not a cold plunging person because I hate the cold so bad. But cool water, cooler showers. When you get home, the cooling towels, ice packs. Just sitting in front of the air conditioner, obviously drinking water, and just continue to hydrate. But also, after you've to recover as well, you want to eat protein and carbohydrates right afterwards, within like 30 to 60 minutes. So you want to kind of do a combination of both. So like yogurt with fruit, a protein shake, a turkey sandwich. Chocolate milk is actually a really good one. Milk is actually hydrating too. So and milk has calcium in it. It's got some of those electrolytes in it, and so that's good for one just to hydrate. But chocolate milk has sugar in it, and so that's a carbohydrate that's going to help replace the glycogen that's stored in your muscles, and that's stored energy. So that helps replenish that chocolate milk with that. So
we talked about this in the commercial break. Your body can adapt to the heat, which is nice, but you got to go slowly and give it time.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it can adapt. It takes a couple of weeks, but it's okay to work out in the heat as you kind of adapt to it. It helps eventually regulate your body temperature, and also it helps to sweat more, which is a good thing. Yeah. So it's not a terrible thing to work out in the heat. You just got to do it smart. So just gradually. You don't just run out there and do a full marathon in the heat when you haven't been used to it.
If you're sweating, that's your body trying to keep you cool.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. And you're releasing toxins and all things. So it's a good thing to sweat.
And then obviously when it comes to bad air quality, if you can, I realize not everybody can.
Yes.
Work out indoors if you can. If you have a gym membership, go do the treadmill perhaps instead of taking the walk outside. Yeah,
exactly. So with the heat being excessive and the air quality, especially right now, it's okay. You just take it indoors for a few days, and it's just like I said, it's about consistency. And the best workout is the one that you can actually recover from, and not set you down for days afterwards, because you don't want to do something and then not be able to work out for a few days because you overdid it. So.
Okay, so when do you like to work out in this heat?
I'm an indoor workout person, so 9:30 is my golden time. I can sleep in. I teach all my fitness classes at 9:30. That's kind of my golden time. But if I do go walking, it's in the evening usually. So.
Okay, excellent. Just a final piece of advice. You got less than a minute left.
Yeah, for exercises, good exercises outside, walking, anything in the water, kayaking, paddleboarding, all of that.
Keep you cool.
Keep cool. Find routes that are shaded, like hikes and things like that, where they have the shade. And pickleball and tennis, do those in the evening with just the lights on and do that.
Heather Doney, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We always appreciate the advice and. It's about consistency.
Consistency, not intensity.
Excellent. All right. Appreciate you joining us this morning. A lot of good advice there.